AyoGG, welcome to a new episode of the AyoGG podcast in the Queendom Season 2 edition. Today for episode number 7, of Queendom Season 2. And guys, this is going to be a bit of a late night recording, so if there are more mistakes in whatever kind of stuff we are giving from us, then please excuse us. And us is not just me, but also my friend Payne. Hello, welcome.
Hey.
Yeah, guys, we watched episode 7 today. Not that long ago, honestly. And today we are going to talk a bit about it. And thankfully, we have to record this at a pretty late time, but thankfully the episode itself was also relatively short, I'd say. And overall, pretty straightforward, at least when it comes to the stuff we can talk about here. Now, the title of the show, it all started, as always, with a beautiful quote that is, Why did I go on the show? Why? Why did she? Why did she? And why are we watching the show? Maybe we will be able to answer that question while continuing to talk about episode 7. Now, as always, we had flashbacks and flashbacks and flashbacks, which we are going to skip, as always. If you want to know exactly what happened in the last episode, I recommend to you the amazing 6th episode of the AyoGG podcast, because it was breathtaking, I'd say. What we are going to talk about right now in this episode, what we're going to start off with, are the vocal unit rankings that got released at the beginning of the episode. If you remember the vocal unit performances we talked about in the last episode, and right now let's just go and blurt out the rankings. On position 3, we have Sun and Moon. Team Sun and Moon, which was WJSN and LOONA, if I'm not mistaken. Right? I think that was like that. On position 2, we have Team 33, which was Hyolin and Brave Girls. And on the pole position, and I can't believe I'm saying this, is Galaxy Embracing the Universe, which is BBG and... No, that was WJSN. Oh god! Okay, no. Sun and Moon was a Kepler and LOONA. Sorry. I thought it's late at night. Yeah, okay. Sun and Moon, WJSN... Now, LOONA and Kepler. LOONA and Kepler, Sun and Moon, LOONA and Kepler, 33, Hyolin and Brave Girls, and Galaxy Embracing the Universe, WJSN, and BBG. Okay, guys, we're off to a good start here. We're off to a really good start. What is your opinion on the rankings that we got for the vocal performances?
I'm overall pretty satisfied. I mean that BBG and WJSN is on the first place something I pretty was hoping for, and cause in my opinion was the best stage, and I don't know, to see something like that, if this, if your first place fits with the original first place, that's something that I find really, really cool. That's why I like this ranking.
Yeah, for me, the first place also overlaps with the actual one, and I guess I can kind of boldly assume this will probably be the last time that happened for me. But I'm also really happy that this happened, and I also want to add what happened here is something Chinbi also commented on that, because she said you beat Hyolin. This is a first in season 2 of Queendom, that Hyolin did not win first place in a round, and Hyolin was she was disappointed. You could see it in her eyes, and she was even talking with the staff members in her waiting room. If she maybe should have chosen a different song, maybe that would have helped for everything. But yeah, it was really what was also really interesting was in the WJSN waiting room, we got like full pressure from AyoGG because as soon as she got the first place card in her hand, she was waving it around the whole time for the dance unit to see, to give them maybe a tiny hint of what she now expects from them to do. And yeah, guys, that was basically already it of the vocal unit ranking. I'm highly satisfied, and if we will continue to be highly satisfied, we will see in the dance unit performances, which like started basically right after we got the vocal unit rankings. And as always, we are going to skip the first performance for reasons and jump into the performance, or like the pre-video introduction of the performance of EXIT, of Exit, which is Hyolin and WJSN, or the two members of WJSN, Unso and Yorum. So, what happened in the short, not short, but in the intro, that was actually kind of interesting, because we saw Hyolin driving all the way over to Starship. And if you guys remember, as a member of Sister, she has been a member of Starship Entertainment, and she said herself that this was the first time, I think after 5 years, that she went back to Starship, and it looked like it wasn't that easy for her. Like, it took a bit of courage from her side to step into her old home. And when they were together, they discussed, okay, what kind of concept are we going to do with our song Kaboom? And they pretty, at least it looked like it, that they pretty like fast decided on a villain concept. And they thought, okay, what do villains do? They steal stuff, so let us steal the hearts of the viewers. So basically the Phantom Thieves. All the Persona 5 players will now understand that reference. So all the cool people. And basically, it's not like a really new concept, a really overall like super creative one, but it is one that you can work really, really well with. And that they tried to show us in the practice. And in the practice, it looked like everything was going like super, super smooth. There were only like minor things to correct, you can say. Especially for Unso and Yorum, because for the villain concept, you know, you need to be fierce, you need to be serious. But those two, well, needed a bit more work when it comes to that. They really displayed their usual dreamy, happy, fairy-like concept, and had a bit of problems to adapt to the new concept they should approach. But they did it, definitely. They evolved more and more over the practice, and afterwards they all met up together and went something to eat. And Hyolin was there sitting and talking really kindly about the girl. She was praising the fire and the determination of the two. And my question now is, did this fire and determination show in the actual performance?
Oh, it's my turn. I want to start with a little thing here, cause in the last podcast, when we had these little snippets of the performances, I guess I said like I don't really click with any of these songs. I can say I'm pretty much into all three of them, but some more, some less. But I think overall, as whole songs, they're pretty nice. So that's nothing. So there's no reason for me to, or there's not something that could disturb me for the performance or something like that. So in that case, I'm pretty fine with that. So for the performance of Kaboom, interesting song name. I really like the theme of it. It was pretty energetic. What I loved. I don't know. I wasn't the biggest fan of the vests of them. Like the outfit overall, pretty
I
chill.
hope no one was.
like uh, the, like for real, comfortable pants and stuff like that. Anything is fine. Looks very cool, and then yeah, undescribable.
They looked like they were ready to like sail out of on the ocean. What the hell?
Yeah, and it were like neon colors. Like if you see them in the like if they are in a white ocean, and so you can see them from far away, because they are just shining in yellow, pink, and I don't know, pink and was there a difference between or a huge difference between yellow and okay, it's red from Unser,
Yeah,
right?
it's reddish,
Yeah.
kind of. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So besides that, I really liked it concept wise and visual wise. And I really loved the energy of the performance. I think they have mixed it up with a decent amount of solo spots and the moments when they did group actions together. I guess that was what was a good mixing in that. And yeah, overall, I think I'm pretty I don't know, pretty satisfied with the performance overall. Um, the the outfits supported the movements pretty much with the decision to make it belly free and stuff like that, because they had much to do with body rolls and or when you lay back your upper body stuff in this. So yeah, I guess that was a good factor as well. And yeah, overall, I'm super satisfied with the performance, and I liked it.
Well, Kaboom. I'm honestly not sure about this performance because the thing is, overall, there is not much that I can like, not many negative things that I can say about this performance, but strangely, there's also not that much like really positive that I can say, because it honestly did not leave an impact on me, which is really strange, because when we first were able to hear snippets of the songs when they were introduced to us, I thought, okay, Kaboom is going to be my favorite one, both song-wise and choreo-wise. But now that I have listened to the song and seen the performance, I'm like, it happened, but I can't really remember much, like, just out of my head. I'm constantly like replaying the performance here in front of me right now, to have images in front of me, and yeah, strangely, I can't say that there were like highlights in this performance, which is kind of sad. Of course, in the beginning, I'd say it's probably the biggest highlight for me. The like rope dance that Yeoja did together with the dancers, that was pretty cool. But after that, it kind of was like, yeah, well, they're doing well, like really well, but the choreo itself did not leave a lasting impact. But one thing that I want to like praise them for is the usage of the stage, because they have been like really present on every part of the stage. They have been running around a lot. They have filled the entire stage to make sure that every audience member would be able to enjoy the performance in a way. And what I can also see is that they have been really giving their all for the performance. They have been really immersed, like especially Unso. I really liked her facial expressions in most of the choreography. At times, she looked like she was having a lot of fun, but she never was like getting too goofy or something like this. No, she was the whole time serious and focused. And also, holy shit, her abs. Holy moly. That is impressive. Like, you could destroy a brick on those things. And so overall, really cool performance. I guess I liked it, but I also did not. It also did not impress me in a way. The thing that is sticking in my head the most is something I honestly don't quite understand, because at the end of the performance, maybe you guys can like explain that to us, and because I know you have the same question marks in your head. What's up with the masks? Like, why do you put on those masks at the end of the performance? I would get if they would have put on the mask at the beginning, and then while performing, they're like ripping them off, you know, as part of the performance. But no. At the end of the performance, they're putting on the masks, doing a few more dance moves, and then ending poses. And then they're removing the masks for the ending fairy shots. And I get that they wanted to have maybe like a cool impact for the ending fairy shots, but I honestly don't get it. It kind of confused me, honestly. I just didn't see the pro side of using the masks at the end and not at the beginning for more impact. Another thing that I wanna praise, or at least mention, for this performance is the usage of like visual effects. Like, there was a lot of stuff going on. Like, in the beginning, we had like the neo shiny outfits of the girls, which looked really insanely cool. And then later we got we got laser shows, we got fog, we got like confetti, we got the whole program basically. We got a highly distracting VCR video, like everything a performance basically needs. So they went all out for it, and yet I feel really bad to say that it did not leave a lasting impression on me.
I mean, overall, I would say you can, or for me at least, you can take the the end as a highlight, cause I don't know, this is like the typical end in the theme of yeah, you are getting pumped up more and drop it as a bit more finale. We kind of talked about it when we watched it in the episode. It kind of felt a bit, in a way, it was cut. At least for me, it was, well, it felt a bit like a mess with all the fog and stuff that happened. I have to say, when I watched it in the video form without the cuts to other participants and stuff like that, without the reaction cams and stuff, I would say it's less messy. But in the episode, it was totally I don't know, like I couldn't see any moves of them anymore. But yeah, when I watched when I watched it as a video on YouTube, the full version, how Mnet is calling it, I could see it, and I really really liked how they are giving their all at the end. Once again, that was pretty cool.
I feel like this is a performance that is like mostly made for the audience that is there.
Yeah, definitely.
Because I see what you mean, and I would agree to that. The problem with Queendom is that basically the way we are watching it normally is the worst way of watching these performances, and that is the regular TV, the TV version with all the like reaction cuts of the participants. Yes, it is sometimes interesting to see how they react, but overall, I want to see the freaking performance. And if every like 5 seconds, they cut to into the BBG waiting room or the Kepler waiting room,
Yodama!
Yodama! I love hearing Shinbi screaming out Yodama, but come on, this is really so distracting. And yeah, especially for this performance, I can also see that it may be even more extreme here. Yeah, but overall, I guess it is a live performance that you have to see as an audience member, and then you're maybe blown away. But if you're sitting in front of the TV, then yeah, maybe it's losing a lot of its impact through all of that. Next up, we are going to jump to the group that performed last in the episode, which are the Envious Queens. And the Envious Queens consist out of Brave Girls, Unji, and, okay, now don't mess up, LOONA's, Chori, Heejin, Olivia Hye, and Heath.
Perfect.
That should be correct. Okay, now, what we saw there in the beginning was that they all met up at BBC, and what was really cute there was that they prepared like a welcoming sign, I think it was, for Unji. And they were really excited and happy, and the best thing about it was that we got a little room tour in BBC, because every LOONA member has her own, like practicing booth, that they also like decorated in their very own styles, and we got to see each and every one of those booths, at least for the members that are in the dance unit. I mean, if you regularly watch the LOONA V lives, then you're already really, really, really familiar with those booths. But if you're not, you got to see a lot of interesting, I'd say, characteristics. The first booth we saw was of Choeri, and holy shit, that booth is my freaking nightmare. A pink princessy nightmare. What did you think of Choeri's booth? Like,
I loved it. I loved it.
My eyes hurt when I saw that.
I really enjoyed seeing that. It's like, I don't know, it's such a cool room, like, in my opinion. It's, I don't know, it's adorable if how she just fits to the theme and full committed it. I loved it.
I didn't know that so many pink like accessories and interior even exists. But yeah, it does. It does. Yeah. Next up we had Heejin. And Heejin had a really like neat room. It was really like super clean and neat. And on the wall, that was super cool. We had drawings of Heejin. And I have to say it once again. Why the hell is talent so unequally distributed in this world? Like, I'm so annoyed. She is an insanely good drawer. Then on top, like all this idol shit we will talk about later on, that's making me kind of mad because I can do any of this shit. Like not one of these things I can do at least on a level you would say acceptable. And that is really sad. What do you think?
Same. Like, like I don't know. I mean, these skills are amazing. And if I look at myself, I feel like, what did I do wrong? What have I missed in my life?
When did I take the wrong turn?
Yeah, exactly. Like I don't know, but overall, I think her room here was pretty like decent looking. Nothing really
It
special.
looked for me, it was my favorite room personally.
Ooh, okay. Yeah, maybe that's the kind of your style. So the different styles. So it's more like your style, and I'm more like giving
Princess
it.
theme.
No, giving it a taste.
No.
Giving it a taste. Like I love it if
And
rooms have
Hyolin didn't.
I don't know, like it's hard to explain, I guess. For me, like of course, like I
No,
really
it's
love,
okay. Explain it to Hyolin, not me.
I love
You insulted
how
Hyolin.
she like the wall with the drawings and stuff. That was pretty cool. But besides that, there wasn't really something that gave it a soul in my opinion. So that's something.
The soul was shining through the fact that everything matched with each other. It was not too like it was not too fancy. It was just a room in which you can go in there and you're like, yes, here I can be.
Yeah.
Not a soul. Poor Hyolin. Poor Hyolin. Hyolin, I would never say stuff like that to you. Just saying. Just saying.
Okay.
Next up. Next up is the exact opposite of Joelly's room. It is Olivia his. And why don't you explain a bit about
there we
Olivia
got the
His
soul
room.
again.
There suddenly the soul is back.
Yeah,
All right.
There I have the commitment once again. Of course, she Olivia wasn't that, or how do you explain that? The room was in
It was dark.
It was dark and not
And simple.
like and not so fully decorated like Atreides. It was pretty, yeah, like she had just the few things she needs, and the rest, yeah, was pretty dark. Of course, black is her color. That's not really something special there. And it just looked like, I don't know, like I I have a friend and she has like exactly the same theme. So like when we just entered the room, I was like, that looks familiar. And I have and I kind of expected something like that when we just were few seconds before going into the room. I was like, okay, I have a feeling where this is going, and of
It
course,
suits her. Yeah. It
Yeah.
definitely suits her. By the way, your mic is doing cracking sounds sometimes.
okay, I think it's
And the last room we went in is the room of Eve. And Eve's room is the one where I honestly can talk about the least because there was not much going on in there. It was even simpler, in my opinion, than Olivia His. It was cozy, honestly, but there was not like much to discover in this room besides one like heart-shaped dream catcher that was hanging. I think it was besides the door. Which I'd be really interested in knowing the dreams that are getting caught in this thing. But yeah, do you have anything to say about Eve's room?
Is my microphone working?
That we will find out after
Okay.
a while.
Okay. No, because I guess her room is like the. I don't have it. Just I'm not in the episode right now, and so I can't really look it up. No, none of the rooms. So, and like for Yeeves, I don't know. I just have to, yeah, kind of read reddish and brownish Dreamcatcher colored thing, but that's the only thing I really have in my mind. Didn't there was something else? One thing more?
I don't think so. At least, not that I noticed it that much.
Okay.
I'd say. By the way, the Kraken's still there. Next up, we have the actual dance practice of the girls. And so after they checked out their rooms, they went back into the huge ass dance practice room of BBC, and they were like preparing themselves for their meeting with Monica, their dance teacher. And what was interesting is that we saw a really like different side of Monica here compared to the workshop where we saw her like really fierce and serious and merciless, I'd say. Here, she was much happier and much more open towards the girls because it looked like she saw how hard all of them had worked and how serious they all were about delivering a great performance for everyone. But unfortunately, that changed after a while, and with after a while, I mean a few days later, when we saw them having their last practice on stage for Queendom. Because there, the members had, a bit of problems with the execution of the moves and finding the right places, like especially Hyolin made a few mistakes when it came to the highlight part of the performance, and that was something that was really, really like criticized by Monica, and which left her extremely dissatisfied. Now, of course, my question is, did this performance leave you unsatisfied too?
Oh Jesus, I don't know if I fix it. I just hope, but I don't think so.
It'll work.
Okay. So, for me first, before I start with the performance stuff, something maybe interesting. I freaking love this song. Like, this is such a unique song, and somehow I'm super clicking with this sound. And not just that, I think the verses kind of give some classic vibes, but overall, this drop from the chorus, ooh, it's amazing. And I'm just mad that Mnet is really just fucking up with the Spotify stuff right now. I mean, we had this in the vocal performances before,
but stuff should be there now.
Yeah?
At Purr it is, at least. I listened to it the whole day.
Huh? Okay, I haven't found it. But
You
whatever.
need to little tip, maybe if some of you also have problems with this, search for one of the groups that's performing the song and then the song name. Like if you're searching for BBG Purr, then you find it.
Oh, basically that's true. So when I would try to do this.
LOONA Envious.
Yeah, and I don't think that's working.
Well, for Purr it worked.
Okay, so Purr is there, I guess. Okay, but whatever. If this works somehow and Spotify is giving it to me, I will definitely playlist it. Besides the song, the performance, starting with Olivia doing lipstick on her, already having lipsticks on lips. Yeah, that's just...
Yeah, that was a bit confusing.
Yeah,
but...
it is how it is. It is how it is. Just to introduce the filter, the black and white...
the Sin City filter, guys.
The Sin City filter. I mean, it was a good decision to make it, because it really, really, really gives the performance, of course, a special vibe. That they changed it in the second chorus drop was super cool as well. Cause these are elements that are supporting the drop, in my opinion. But still, I don't think I will get I will be able to get over from the first drop when all are behind Teachin, and when the drop came, everyone is spreading out. This is and then with the gazes, that's really, really captivating. And Jesus, I really love this kind of performance, I'd say. This more I don't know if this is, it's more expressional dance, right? Like really focused on how you do the moves and how you do your facial expression, something like that.
I guess so. Sensual also.
Yeah, and oh, Jesus, I don't know. I was super, super captivated with the whole performance over. Like, I don't know. I really just loved it. I think they really, really, really played well together, and all the movements they did, especially together, were super, super powerful. Even if they're, yeah, that's not the, like, powerful in the sense of executed very well, and so it really fits to the theme. I mean, outfit wise, black and red is such a good combination. I'm not 100% like, the stylings overall are not 100% the best I could have imagined. Like, I think just that the stylings of them are not my most favorite style overall. So like makeup and hair stuff. But overall pretty fitting, and yeah, I really, really, really love the performance.
Why do I always get framed as the bad guy? God damn it. No, it's not that bad. Now, maybe it is. We will see. Okay, so, first things first. What I liked the most about this performance is that, especially if I compare it to the previous performance of Exit, there I never had like I always had the feeling, okay, we have Hyolin and we have Unse and Yodum. But for this performance, I completely, honestly, while watching it, forgot that we have two different groups basically meshed together here. I completely forgot that we had Brave Girls and LOONA put into one group. I thought, like, okay, this is one group. Like, they have been working together so well. They have been fitting each other so well, like, from their gazes, from the way they moved. The overall atmosphere of the entire performance was super unique. Like, especially in the beginning when we have the Sin City. I don't know how to properly call it this thing. That's why I'm just calling it the Sin City filter. If you've watched the movie, you will know what I mean with it. This filter is just making this entire performance so much more, like, unique. And yes, I would also say kind of like enchanting. Because it is something you don't often see, and because of that alone, you kind of want to sit there the whole time and stare at it and see, okay, what is going to happen next? And so from that point of view, really cool performance. Also, the execution of the moves, amazing. There's absolutely not one negative thing I can say about that. And everyone kind of, when they had their solo parts, each one of them shined in those parts through their, like, gaze and through their movements. So big props for that. But just as for Kaboom, I can't say that this performance has left a big impression on me. Besides this one move where they're all standing besides Hyolin and then like stepping to the sides, there is not one thing that really like stuck in my head after watching it. And even this highlight move, I kind of expected more of when I watched the like teaser for this episode, because there, I don't know, it felt a bit more dynamic because of the way it was cut and stuff like this. It had like such a kind of a gravity to it that was like drawing me in. But when I saw it in the actual performance, I was like, it was good. But that's about it. And I don't know if this is maybe just because I have seen this clip multiple times before I watched the actual performance. If it was maybe once again because of the editing that we see like them perform, then this move happens and then cut to basically every member of this entire freaking show that they can do a oh my gosh. And then we cut back. I don't know what it exactly is, but the impact that I was hoping for so much from the song and the constellation of members simply did not meet my expectations. And that is really a bit unfortunate. And I really have to say, the moment this Sin City filler is like vanishing, it's a good performance, but that's it for me personally, which is really sad. And another thing, which is something because of the discussion we already had last week, something that I don't take into my critique for the performance, the song, because it's a dance performance, the song itself, I really thought I would like it more. It's not clicking with me. It's not giving me anything. A bit boring, honestly, for me. So the performance itself is, in my opinion, much better than the actual song. But unfortunately, the performance itself, yeah, as I said, I feel like it, for some reason that I can't really put into words, did not meet the expectations I had for this performance. Sorry. Do you want to add something to this?
Overwhelming. We can go on.
All right. The performance or my critique?
Both.
I want to say I can expect both. Okay.
I just watched while you were talking a bit of the performance again, because I needed to check it, like, or I wanted to check it a bit for me, and I was just overwhelmed once again. That's why. Yeah.
They deserve it. They worked hard for it. Give them all the love. Give them all your love. And all the love that I fail to give them right now. I'm really sorry. Okay, and last, but most certainly not least, at least for me, Mnet. Cabbage.
Don't spoiler.
Cabbage. I did not I don't know what you mean. Cabbage, the group consisting out of BBG and Kepler. To be more exact, BBG's Jinbi and Omji and Kepler's Dion, Sheng Xiaoting, and Hikaru. They met up prior to the performance for practice at the BPM, Big Planet Mate headquarters, and basically stepped into the company of BBG for the very first time, which is no surprise. And it's pretty damn new, this company. Even though they have like such a shitload of artists already under contract, but it is a really new company, and they were quite surprised about the after they opened the door and they saw instantly BBG music video playing on the screen there. This is, by the way, something I really like about the Big Planet Made building, because every day they display a different artist of theirs on the screen, which is just a cool idea in my opinion. And yeah, they met there, and the thing that I like the most about this performance video that we got here is that it looked like during the practice they all had an absolute blast. Like, they were all always happy and smiling and laughing, and it was just such an happy and friendly atmosphere the whole time through. And the only thing when it started going slowly south is when we saw that AyoGG struggled a bit with learning the choreography, because she said herself she is simply not the fastest when it comes to learning new choreography. But of course, Mnet used that to display us, to show us the pure teamwork bond and strength of the infamous group Cabbage, because Hikaru instantly jumped to her side and started to teach AyoGG the moves. We also saw that during the workshop that they where they were when they were practicing in this stupid ass staircase. Also, other members of Kepler, together with Hikaru, were like teaching AyoGG the moves, were showing her how to do something. And what I kind of liked about the way AyoGG was talking about it, like, she was really thanking them a lot, but she was also making sure to tell us that even though this may be a bit of a strange situation, since she is the senior here and she's getting taught by her juniors, that this did not create some kind of strange atmosphere or something like this. Like, Hikaru even said that she was really happy that AyoGG was so happily accepting the help of her. And this just showed that there is no such thing as a pride that is getting hurt there or something like this. No, it is just the way it is. She simply needs a bit longer to learn choreography, and the others don't, and so she's using their advantage they have in that field for her advantage, to learn, to gain knowledge, which is something I really, really liked. And that this all just went on so smoothly and happily was just amazing to see. And this really like heartwarming atmosphere also continued at the end of it, when they were all sitting on a playground and talking to each other and mentioning how happy they were and how great the time was that they spent together. It was really insanely heartwarming. I loved it. And I also liked Chinbi, just like she did in episode 1, instantly started to say, okay, guys, here is our number 1 outlook, okay? Our teacher is Holy Bang. She was number 1 on Street Woman Fighter. We have Kepler here and the 3 members. If you guys remember the O performance on Girls Planet, we have the number 1 of China, the number 1 of Japan, and the number 1 of Korea. And of course, we have BBG with the most viewed Queendom performance with Time for the Glory. So the popularity number 1 right there. So what could possibly go wrong is what I'm asking you now.
Everything. No. Where do I start?
With what went wrong? Or where do I start? No. They were amazing. I want to clarify it in the beginning.
Exactly, like, of course, like, this was okay. Where do we start? Let's start, cause I just talked about it in the other performances, but song-wise, it's super cool. Better than I expected. I remember in the last podcast, I was like, I don't know if the song will maybe kind of disturb me from the performance, cause I really don't like it, but it's kind of the opposite. I have to say I pretty much like it. It's still a bit interesting, but it I don't know. It's such a song building I really love, and so it's really clicking with me. So Spotify verified, I guess.
Hell yeah.
Besides that, it's the most no, that's wrong. That's wrong. I have to. I mean, it's hip hopish like Kaboom, but the different kind of hip hop. Hard to explain. Darker, more darker hip hop or something. Cause I don't know how to say this in the genres, but the more darker style and stuff like that, the more yeah, it's hard to explain. I don't know, but I guess you people might know what I mean.
The song itself feels a bit, I'd say, it's a more mature in a way.
Yeah, and visual wise, the concept, of course, is more in a way like the outfits. That's more. I don't know. You know what I mean? It's hard to explain because
I know what you mean, but I can also I don't know shit about genres. I'll be completely honest.
Exactly. But what we have talked about in the last episodes, so in Queendom overall, what we kind of just were praising over and over again, and I have to say, she just overdone it herself once again. AyoGG, once again, Jesus. Like, I don't know what's going on with her, but I kind of have the feeling she wants to own every concept. Like this hairstyle, orange hair with the hairstyle and the headband. Jesus.
AyoGG's amazing. As soon as she's out of Source Music, she's glowing.
Jesus fucking Christ, what's happening with her? She is going to Queendom and she just she's getting every concept and it's making her own. Like, what the hell?
AyoGG, for AyoGG, it feels like all the years where she's like got held back, is now suddenly bursting out of her. Like all this energy that she kept to herself the whole time is now just bursting out in every freaking concept she's doing.
But I have to say, of course, fantastic are all of them. Like this concept, these outfits are just, I don't know. I don't think you can do something wrong with that decision. They all look amazing. I really love these blue things in Chimpy's hair as example. It's all of them are Jesus looking amazing. Overall, I really love the performance. It's very aggressive. It's I mean, I don't really. I mean, it's a song in English, but because I was super captivated by the performance, I don't shit about the lyrics. I remember nothing. I just know it's about Purr and the cat. Purr. So cool concept. Cat's concept are thumbs up. Cool. Starting I think at the beginning I was like a bit the color theme with the cat eyes and stuff like that. Stage wise, it was so perfect. Like it looked astonishing. I needed slightly a bit to come in, but I don't know. I guess when it goes to the first pre-chorus and it's changing a bit, and the pace is changing as well with the choreo. I guess that was the moment where I was like, okay, interesting. After that, the drop, super super aggressive, and I I I don't know, like for the first time when I heard this, I was like, okay, damn, this is pretty much better than I expected out of the teaser. But when I watch it like a second and the third time, I have just or I need to say it's amazing, like literally amazing. I really really love it. It's I don't I don't think I have performance wise. I don't know if there's something I can say this is mostly my style, because I don't know, I can kind of say the song wise, but performance wise I'm pretty easy to get. I have to say. But I loved it. I loved the body rolls they did, and the little moves that are kind of leading to some I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. I'm such a bit it's late, guys. I just got a blackout right now. Cause
Me too, but for other reasons, I'm watching the performance right now.
I mean that's something I wanted to say, cause
beat you to it.
Right before you finished, I was like, okay, I'm just looking at this at the same time into the performance again. And I'm still I'm still I don't know, trying to get the shit together in my head. I think, or in my opinion, Kepler, like the Kepler members and BBG really, really fit well together, and they really looked like, I don't know, they could have been a group or something like that. Like they really looked pretty good together. I really love this, and I'm super happy that once again, maybe that's just my opinion, but overall, I think everyone really got a good amount on at screen time. Like, I know like 2 highlights of all of them, at least, and I know that, or something. Maybe that's just in my head, but somehow I have like 5 moments when Omji was in the camera. I don't know if she just got a mass amount of screen time, but somehow she is literally overboarding my head and my thoughts. And yeah, I think, like, I don't know, stage wise the performance was super cool, but executing wise as well, and styling wise, Jesus, they really really killed it.
Okay, so to start us off with a little story. First day, I think last Thursday, while I was at work, taking a little break, I was just innocently scrolling through Twitter, and I suddenly saw this picture of Chinbi and her outfit, and I was so like, oh my god, I was so over the mountain, I almost wrecked my working laptop. Because I had something to drink standing right next to me, and I was so excited after I saw that. I hit the, of course, open water bottle. Seriously, almost through my entire room. And the water, and this is no shit, was splashing right around the entire laptop. over. It was like really a sea around it. And so the guardian angel, that is Chinbi, made my heart almost like completely crumble, but saved my laptop through her aura, to quote our favorite judge ever. And yeah, that was like the first thing that I really saw of this performance. And when we first checked out the songs, like when we first got the songs that were going to get performed here, I'll be completely honest, I thought like, okay, Purr and I, that's not going to work. This is going to be my by far least favorite. And turns out, boy, was I wrong. Purr is by far my favorite song. Like, just let's completely ignore the performances for now. The song itself, holy shit, I love it so much. I was like seriously listening to it the whole day today, from when I woke up for work until we started to watch the episode. The song was constantly looping in the background, and I'm completely blown away. By the way, I did not know that they would also like sing the songs themselves. It wasn't something that I was expecting, which was another really pleasant surprise for me.
Yeah.
Like when I did the reaction to this and suddenly heard in the beginning Chinbi's voice, I was like, oh, what the hell is going on now? And yeah, that was just made all of this even better. Now, the performance itself. I have to disappoint you all, guys. I'm not gonna be as like as not going to badmouth, you may say, this performance as much as I did the others. No, this is just, I love basically every second of this performance. I really like this beginning alone, with these green cat eyes in the background, is really impactful. And then this hip-hopish dance style, which is just something that we already know, like from the Kepler members, like from Queendom and stuff. This is nothing new for them, especially for Hikaru. But Chinbi and AyoGG, this is something they have never really done. Of course, for Chinbi, we have the Studio Tune performances like Tap-In or Sweet But Psycho. But this is a really, really, really rare sight. And I think it is pretty easy to see that the both of them highly enjoyed the this change of concept that they were doing here. And in my opinion, they and the Kepler girls completely nailed it. Like, I mean, the fact alone that I have Shouting and Chinbi in one unit perform together is completely sending me places. And then in this song here, with such a cool style, I'm really a big fan of hip hop dancing, and in that executional quality that we saw here is really, really, really outstanding. And there's one part of AyoGG that I especially want to point out, and that is when she is doing the wait a second, I'm almost here. When she's saying, "'Cause I'm watching you, watching me, I know you like what you see." And when she's doing that, like she's doing, I don't know how to properly call it, but like a hip thrust to the side. Like she's punching you with that shit right into your face. And the pure like confidence and skill she's executing this move in is so satisfying. And the way she's with a body wave then going to the ground, holy shit, AyoGG, that was such a freaking delight. And I mean, this one shot with this like green bluish light when they were all doing this like super abrupt like movements and slowly all looking up in the sky like they're kind of possessed. holy shit, I'm getting goosebumps. I'm seeing this move just now. So amazing. Another thing about this performance that we did not have had was like overboarding effects. Like, if you compare it to the other performances, we have relatively, like, I'd say a moderate amount of effects in here. Of course, you could argue, okay, but I mean, the performance of Envious Queens also did not have that much effect, but I would say, like, this long ass Sin City filter is pretty heavy for an effect. And here we most of the time have these lasers shooting from the back, or a bit of a play with green and blue light. But besides that, it was a pretty clean and full-fledged dance performance here. And a little flashback, by the way. Maybe there are people of you who also listen to the Girls Planet podcast that we made. The fog that we saw in the foreground of this performance, this greenish fog that was emitting, was so hard, like Snake. So hard, the Snake performance. And who do we have in this team? Shouting, Hikaru, and Dion. So I got like instantly thrown back to that insanely amazing performance, by the way. And overall, this unit that we saw here, just like I praised LOONA and Rave Girls for this, I want to praise this team too. They really felt like, okay, this is a legit, not just unit, but this is a legit group. Like, if you would tell me, yeah, this is the new girl group of, let's face it, BPM. I mean, they're buying everything. This is the new BPM, another new BPM girl group. I would kind of believe you. Like, they matched well together. There was no one who kind of like fell out with her way of dancing in a way. They all matched with each other, which is, once again, in my opinion, really insane considering the short amount of time they have actually spent together. And also, no one outshined the others, in my opinion. Everyone had their moments to shine, but overall, they were really one big unit with everyone bringing something unique into the equation. And in the end, it resulted into an absolutely outstanding and amazing performance. So, absolutely, thank you, Cabbage. Want to add something?
No, it was. I guess it's my. I'm going to say this now, cause are you going after this to the rankings? Question mark.
The rankings will be next. Yes.
Okay, then I would say mine. And once again,
before you do that, let's just finish off this team, because there's just something interesting that happened after the performance itself.
Mm-hmm.
We saw the girls sitting together while waiting for the results, and there they again started to talk with each other. And there something happened that I have been waiting for so long. We saw Shouting talking to BBG, and why this makes me so happy throughout the entire show of Queendom. And if you're like me and also watch like Kepler variety stuff, also these shows, just due to the fact that she is not fluent in Korean, it is difficult for her to talk with other people, to express herself to others. And here before this performance started, we saw so many times when Hikaru was like talking, or Diane was talking, Shouting was sitting there the whole time looking at them, and you you could see in her face that she wants to talk to Chinbi and Omji too, but she can't. She doesn't have the right words right now. And in this moment, Shouting was like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going all in now. And she was so cute, talking about how much she liked being in a group with BBG. She expressed her gratitude to them. And this was just, oh my god, this just freaking melted my fucking heart. I'm sorry, but I'm Shouting biased, and I really missed her like being able to express herself, and that she is overcoming this while talking to BBG. Oh my god, she even started to cry and got cuddled by Omji. Like, I got completely served in this moment. I was on cloud 7. And yeah, that was all I wanted to say. Now it's your turn. I'm sorry, but this was just something I needed to add. Because that made me more happy than it should.
Super. No, that was super heartwarming in my opinion. Like that's just the interaction and kinda. When I say relatable, that might sound wrong, but it's like you can kind of imagine to be in something like that situation. So I don't know, just imagine to meet someone in a foreign country, and then you are kind of trying to express yourself, but it's hard, and you have some I don't know, like puzzles in your head, and I know you can't really talk casually. That there's a huge difference between kind of you can survive there and you can talk casually, and don't having really this ability to just take a casually conversation can be so, I don't know, so depressive and sometimes, I guess. So that was super heartwarming when of course Mnet was supporting this situation with soundtrack, and we know Mnet. but
that was also, I mean, I have problems expressing myself in my freaking mother tongue, so I feel you, Hikaru. Hikaru too,
Yeah.
but she's more is like straightforward, but Shouting, I'm on your side.
Exactly.
Okay, now.
So, yeah, cause I just wanted to say, like, for me, I don't know how, like, it's not like for you, but for me, it's like really, I was today a bit fighting with me. I was like, which performance did I like the most? That's not happening too much. That I think like, is this one first place or this one first place? I was really fighting with myself. I was watching like the performances 3-4 times, and I say with a slightly, without a microscope, you can't even see it. The difference. I would say Purr on the first place, and then Envious on the second place, and Kaboom on the third place. It's really just a bit. It's really just a bit. Just from the feeling I got from watching it, I don't think I can really explain this little thing, but I was just watching these two performances over and over again because I couldn't decide for myself. I watched these two performances over and over again, and then I was just going with my heart. So it can be, of course, once again, totally biased, because I don't know why my heart was saying, okay, I love you more a bit, or I would choose you if I have to, if my life depends on some like on this decision. But yeah, there it would be Purr, but literally, Purr and Envious were astonishing performances for me.
Yeah, I can make it pretty short. Same ranking, but with pretty huge gaps for me. So that's it. I think I'm not gonna make more enemies right now. It's better if I just leave it with that.
The little moment of thinking,
Should I?
just cut it. Just cut
Nah, let's not. Okay. But, of course, as always, no one cares about our rankings. Because the actual rankings of the dance unit look quite different. And here we have, and that is like the biggest joke of the millennium. Position 3, Cabbage. Position 2, Exit. And number 1, Envious Woman. So, number 1 is LOONA and Brave Girls. Congratulations. And that's all I have to say to that.
Yeah, like, I say, for me, of course, for you said huge gaps, but whatever. But for me, it's like, okay, I'm fine with having Purr on first place or Envious on first place, because it was hard for me to say it either. But on third,
Third, dude.
what the hell? How? Like, I don't know.
The thing is, to get back like into the serious analysis mode of mine, I can kind of understand how maybe the audience there decides on Exit being over Cabbage, because if I look at the performance of Exit, the performance felt much more I'd say audience friendly, because they started like in the middle stage they have in midst of the audience, then we had Unso on the right side doing performances, and then we jumped onto the big stage in front of them. Also, I feel like the dancers that Exit had filled the space maybe better overall than the dancers of Purr did. So I think this can kind of make it a bit more appealing if you're there. Plus, as I have already mentioned, they had like a storm of effects going on there. So if you're in the crowd and you're getting hit by like a different effect each second, this can be a pretty like impactful performance that is like lingering in your head. I can imagine that. And on top of that, we should not forget that Purr was the first performance. And probably the people, as always in Queendom, strangely, they forgot the number 1.
Yeah.
It's a rule they kind of established. So I could kind of imagine that this is something that played a big role in the fact that Exit is in front of Cabbage, for example.
Yeah. Like, understandable, of course, true. Like, Kaboom kind of used the stage more and was a bit more, filling the whole studio, I would say. Like, but somehow, like, I don't know, I still think Purr is insanely as well. Like, watching it live and like I can imagine that Purr really gives another feeling and more powerful feeling if you watch it live as well.
That leads us to the final results of the unit battles. And the final results are basically the points from the vocal unit performances added to the points of the dance unit performances. And this leads to, I'd say, quite an interesting final ranking. And that is on position 6, sadly, Kepler with 1,000 points. On position 3, and yes, I said 3, we're jumping from 6 to 3, we have Hyolin, BBG, and LOONA, all with 3,000 points. And we're jumping again over one position. On position number 1, we have WJSN and Brave Girls with 4,000 points. Now, it is quite interesting that we only basically have 3 rankings here, but I really have to say, the fact that Kepler is alone there with 1,000 points is breaking my heart.
Yeah.
They do not deserve this. Like, they fought so hard, they did so well in every performance, and yet last place, 6th place alone. Oh. This is so insanely sad.
Yeah.
And yeah, on position 3 is quite interesting. Like, Hyolin, for the first time, not on 1. BBG in the middle field. That's like, we're kind of used to that by now. And LOONA, they compared to their previous ranking, I think, dropped once. I think previously they were 2 or something like this. But overall, a strong position 3 that we have here. But of course, the biggest winner of the evening, you could say, is most certainly Brave Girls. Because from the very, very end, they made it to position number 1 with 4,000 points. Because, yeah, once they got first and once they got second place.
Yeah.
So, once 1,500 points and once 2,500 points. So, mad respect. And
Cool.
this must be such an, like, energy boost for them. Like, to finally be able to to call yourself first place after they had to go through so much is really cool to see. Like, I'm really happy for them. But of course, this is not everything, because what is following is in the next week the oh god, I forgot the exact name, but the kind of the fan choice performances, and there they can basically choose freely what song they are going to perform. And we already got some songs that we will see next week. Like, for example, BBG is going to perform Bop Bop in a different version, I'd say. More to that maybe later. And another thing that we saw, and this is like sending me already through the roof. We saw Kepler shouting, "Girls, bring the boys out!" And I'm pumped as fuck for that.
Yeah.
Did we also see? We also saw, I think, LOONA, like, right, with Butterfly.
Exactly. That
They're going to perform
really
Butterfly,
like
and the rest I'm not sure.
Yeah. I mean, continue to talk. I want to check something, but
I continue to talk, just like that. No, but I can talk a bit about the stuff that we already know, and this is now something. I mean, I was anxious when I heard that BBG is going to perform Purr, because, as I said in the beginning, when I first heard the song, I wasn't a fan of it, but they taught me that I should never dare to even think that this could not satisfy me. So I'm really trying hard to not do this time. But I'll be completely honest. The little part that we could hear of Bop Bop, this EDM drop thing, oh, Oh, I did not like this at all. Like, so not. And even worse, what the fuck was Chinby wearing? Who is responsible for that?
Yeah, the outfits are. Oh Jesus.
Like,
I mean, we don't have a fashion with Tengu today to spoil it already. So like it's
okay, no, okay. We pushed that a bit. Okay, let's do it. Let's do that. We will push that. We will make a little fashion with Yeoja Chingu later on.
okay.
Today we can. Because next we will have Taeyeon. But yeah,
Exactly.
okay. Then, or do you want to say something about what you have heard?
I'm not sure, but like there was, I guess, Brave Girls was doing it. This look at me. This reminds me of something. Just me?
I mean, yeah, theoretically, but I can't put it to something.
They changed it completely. Safe call, 100%. They changed everything of the song. But this, look at me. But I don't know where this is from. But I guess this is something. It feels like it's not from them. And it feels like it's a song. I don't know. That it kind of surprised me when I first heard it. when this kind of was, I don't know, when this started. Okay, so it's Butterfly from LOONA. We had this already.
Yeah, Butterfly from LOONA.
Look at me now. I'm so mad. 100% is so obvious. Yeah, but the pop-up drop. This is very interesting. This is very clubbish, right? Very, very club-like.
I mean, not the clubs I have been to, honestly, but yeah, maybe.
Yeah, more the. I know what you mean.
I mean, the thing is, I'm not against EDM or EDM drops. There can be good stuff, but I'll be completely honest. This was such a no for me when I heard that.
and
I really hope that the performance itself will kind of completely overshadow the sound, but that made me really, 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 oh my god.
And for Hyolin, I don't know what this is, but Bay Beach, that style, Bay Beach.
Also not sure from the snippet that we heard.
Yeah, song wise, absolutely no clue. And for WJSN, I'm really interesting into the concept. How do you call this in English?
They were basically like little mannequins.
Mannequins, yeah.
That were kind of turned by the dancers, and it looks like the story is going kind of to be like they're awakening, that they're turning to life or something like this.
Yeah.
We again could see that the the clock is going to be a topic again in their performance. So this will be
this
really
is
interesting.
This is definitely like story-wise fitting to them. This is some magical fairy tale whatever shit once again. It's with time. I'm really curious what we will see. I don't know which 3 performances we will see next week. That's still secret, but I guess all of them will be pretty interesting.
But what I can definitely say is the second I heard, girls, bring the boys out, they may have won me with this. Like, if they're playing their cards right, I'm getting like,
Oh my goodness.
I'm getting like a tingling feeling just thinking about it.
I just found out, I guess.
Oh, tell us.
I found out where this look at me now is coming from. I guess this is Blackpink's How You Like That.
Okay, no wonder why I didn't recognize it instantly. Yeah, cool. Look at me and look at me now.
Yeah. I guess this is this one. But they, as I said, it felt like they changed it completely because I couldn't really find the connection. But now I know why I couldn't. This feels like totally different, but interesting.
Different version of How You Like That.
Yeah.
This could really be interesting. I'm looking definitely looking forward to this.
Yes.
Okay.
For song wise from WJSN, absolutely no clue because there wasn't really a song.
Yeah. This will just be a surprise for us.
Yes.
We will see.
Yes.
Okay. And after we got the little teaser for next week, as always, we got a little cookie scene, and this time, the masks are back.
Oh,
the masks are back.
The explanations.
We saw Hyolin, Unso, and Yodam sitting together, and suddenly the masks appeared. And it looks like the mask she had was initially she wanted to give it to Mami-san.
Yeah.
Did I understand that correctly? And it had like little gems in it and stuff like this. It was kind of a bit bizarre, a bizarre situation. And then they suddenly started to put on the masks. At least, well, they tried to put on the masks. This didn't work out that well, and they were never able to find the holes for their eyes. But in the end, what they did there was they trained ripping off the masks so that your hair is not like clashing into your face after you rip it off. Which is, in a way, I understand it, that if you're using a mask, you have to have that skill, that knowledge, but I still don't get the mask. I hope this would kind of explain to me why it had to be there, but it didn't.
I still think, so in my opinion, I still think the mask, okay, however, it's an idea, I don't know, okay, but the decision to make it just for the last 15 seconds, where did this come from? This is something like they kind of came for the idea there, and then somehow thought about, okay, how do we do this for the actual performance? How can we bring the mask in? Yeah, just put it in at the finale, like something like that. And that felt like unnecessary put in somehow for me. But I don't know, maybe it's wrong. Maybe there's a story behind.
I mean, for me, the only explanation that this makes sense is that they wanted to have these cool mask ripping off things for the ending fairy shots. I don't see why you need to do this, but that's the only thing that makes somehow sense.
Yeah.
But I don't support it. Honestly.
Okay, yeah.
I didn't understand the mask. Okay. But guys, now, last but not least, as I promised you, it's time for fashion with Yeoja Chingu. I have the picture right in front of me right now. The girls sitting there with their outfits, and I feel like they ripped those outfits straight out of Choeri's booth. Because
no way.
Because Pink, holy shit, the Pink Nightmare has returned. What the hell is going on here?
So there are two things. One, if we look at the performance of Jesus. I was just forming my sentence in beforehand, like I wanted to, so I can just whatever. No, just if we just watch the performance from Subin, Una, and Jesus, what's happening with me?
Yeah. You can do it.
Can I do it?
You can do it. I believe in you. Come on.
I just have the feeling, but maybe that's Yeonjung, right? I don't know why but I was thinking about Yeonjung, and this sounded so bad, and that's why I didn't want to say that, and then I just realized, oh shit, I just missed an N. Oh Jesus, but that confused me totally. There we had 3 pink dresses. These are made out of the room from 280. The things we have with BBG.
No, the thing, BBG stuff was in Cherry's room, but was like under the rug.
Okay.
Sorry, but these outfits.
I don't know. For me, the outfit for the outfit, it looks more like they came straight up from hell.
They're terrible.
Like,
I'm sorry, but straight up terrible.
This is something where I'm thinking about Mnet. That's something I really was looking forward for the fashion act. Like, that was something. And okay, I have to say, I haven't really imagined something like that. Mnet really topped this even more with what the hell this ever is. Like, I don't know. It looks not okay.
Don't even know where to start. Like Una's Barbie top, Omji's whatever is around her cola there, whatever that's supposed to be. And I mean, I don't even want to jump to Chinbi there. Like that abomination of I don't know this. What is this? Is this like an animal that got run over by a car? What is this top?
Yeah, like, and I
this poor girl.
And
what are you doing with my girl?
And I just think about how Shimi must feel getting this. Designer are giving this to her, and she's like, "Oh, Jesus Christ!" Oh
she
man,
must hate every freaking second here.
Like, and I just skipped to a screen where Omji is looking to someone, and she's on the frame on her own, and this looks not okay. Like, she, of course, is gorgeous, but it looks so wrong with the pink eyeshadow and the pinkish lips, and then the whatever this is she has there. I don't know. Like I can't even explain what this thing is she has there around. Like, what the? This looks so shit. And the earrings. Big heart-shaped earrings.
Me no likey.
She even looks old in this picture. I don't know what did you do with her.
Omji really looks older. It is also kind of the hairstyle and everything makes her really look a bit older. But I mean, the hairstyle stuff, this is not a problem.
No.
But really, the outfit.
The outfit, yeah, and I guess in combination with the pink eyeshadow, it looks really like true. Do you know the kind of people who are making everything colorful in the face, fitting to the like the people that are really into makeup insanely, like and abusing this at a toppest, and it feels kind of like that. It feels so forced, and just look that doesn't look okay. And I don't know. I guess this will be something okay. Of course, that kind of might distract a bit if because we are watching them. You know, when we watch the performance, we are watching the girls.
I mean, of course, during the performance, it will be better. But I'll be completely honest. If the song sounds like the outfits look, we have a serious problem.
Yeah, cause then we are sitting here and have to talk about the performance.
And we will,
of course.
And you will hear my heart break with every freaking word I say. I mean, come on.
This is super. Yeah. So the outfit wise, I can't really I can do foreshadowing here. I can't really praise the outfits. I can say that beforehand. But what I do often,
no one can.
But maybe we can praise the song and the performance. Hey.
Performance probably. There, I don't. Performance will be amazing,
of course.
But
the fashion not.
The other two aspects.
Everything we haven't got in the last fashion corners, Mnet was putting everything into BBG. And that's not something we wanted, Mnet.
It's just like Mnet was listening as always to the stupid podcast. Was like, okay, you want worse outfits of Tay and worse? Okay, BBG.
Exactly, it was exactly like that.
I hate K-pop, dude. This shit always happens.
Yeah.
I always get what I want in the ways that I hate the most. It always turns out like this.
Yeah, that's the essence of K-pop.
And I'm not learning.
Of course not.
I'm not freaking learning. Yeah, okay. So, I'm finished.
Yeah. I guess we just have to live with that. But guys, tell us in the comments, what do you think about the outfits? I think there's just one opinion, but feel free to tell us.
And if you like these outfits, I really need an explanation.
Yeah, and
I want, because I'll be completely honest, guys. I want to see what you see, but I can't. Like, for the sake of my 3 favorite girls, I really want to see what you see.
Even if you need to write a book there in the comments, just do it. Explain.
Even if you write a fucking book, I buy it. I just
just explain if you like the outfits, what it is, why, and how can we be able to love them.
What I can say, what I like the most about the outfit is the way how the 3 girls are able to confidently wear them. This takes confidence. And I'll be honest, I wouldn't have that. If I would wear Chinby's outfit, this boy would be a really different person.
Yes, he did.
And with that, I'm going to end today's podcast. Guys, I hope you enjoyed it just as much as we did making it. We just, we beat the length of the show with this podcast. Ha! Suck it, Mnet. Now, guys, let us know all of your opinions in the comments below. And I hope I see you next time to the next podcast episode, which will be released, as always, next Thursday. So thank you for your attention and bye!